law of the jungle is kill or be killed. Most of the time, it's survival of the fittest. If you can't hold your ground, you will not make it. All sorts of animals meet in the jungle, and this sets up incredible battles. Some battles are quick and predictable, and others are long, arduous, and surprising. Have you ever seen a mongoose take on a snake? Or a shark fight an octopus? Stick around and you'll see much more as we count down 15 animal battles that will give you goosebumps. Number 15. Hippo versus wild dogs. Hippos and wild dogs rarely meet in the wild, simply because hippos live mostly in the water and wild dogs are not crazy about water. But there are moments when their paths will cross, especially if it involves prey. Watch this hippo charge a bunch of wild dogs trying to make a kill. Another hippo seems like he's trying to save an impala from some wild dogs by delicately trying to grab the impala with his mouth. But the dogs are pulling their own way. What's amazing is that the hippos never seem to want to hurt the vegetarians. Even 20 or 30 wild dogs, although they are expert hunters, cannot damage a hippo. The hippo is so massive and its skin is so thick, not one dog would dare approach the hippo close enough to bite it, afraid the hippo would sink its huge canines into its body. Wild dogs seem to meet hippos always in the same circumstances. Some herbivore is swimming in the water to stay away from the dogs, and a hippo happens to be there. The hippo doesn't attack the dogs, but it keeps them on their guard. In this last clip, a wild dog has actually jumped into the water to kill an impala, and the hippo isn't doing anything about it. Number 14. Giraffes versus lions. Lions will rarely attack giraffes because they know the amount of work and stamina that's required to take down a full-grown giraffe. Sometimes though, when food is scarce, they go after what's available and lions have no choice but to hunt giraffes. As you can see in this first clip, this is no easy feat. Just watch this giraffe trample this lion repeatedly. One lion alone against one giraffe has no chance in hell. Even several lions will have a difficult time taking down a giraffe, as you can see in this footage, where lions are getting kicked in the face more often than none. If the lions are not capable of getting in close on the giraffe, then the risk of death for the lions is greater. With one kick, a lion can die on the spot. When the pride finally takes down a giraffe, it will fill their tummies for days. So it's a great catch for the entire family, but it's not an easy one. Just look at the strength of this giraffe. With one lion on its back and 3 of them biting at its legs, the giraffe remains stoic and takes on the challenge without making a sound. Number 13. Alligators versus alligators. When 2 alligators meet, it can mean a fight to the death. Watch these 2 alligators wrestling one another. For a moment, one of the alligators is on its back and the other one is biting its tail. But then they are both back on their feet and swim away. This next alligator seems to be having a baby alligator for lunch with everything else watching on. Even when fighting one another, alligators will use the same technique of biting their opponent and spinning their body in circles to dismantle their victims. When alligators or crocodiles are angry at one another, they can growl. You can hear this growl on our next sequence. It almost sounds like a T-Rex getting ready to attack its prey. Our next battle is between a python and an alligator. The python wraps itself around the alligator, but the gator has part of the python's body in its mouth. The battle lasts for hours, but the alligator gives in and the python swims away. Looks like it was a draw. Our last clip features 2 gators battling it out on the golf course. Imagine you're golfing and you're about to hit the ball and a gator walks towards you. What a sighting. But now it's 2 gators and they're going at it. What more could you ask for? These 2 gators are not fooling around. They're going at it hard. They finally call it quits with no evident winner. Number 12. Lions versus crocodile. Lions and crocodiles are 2 apex predators, but the crocodile rules in the water and the lion rules on land. What do you think happens when they meet? Watch these 2 lions cross a river with a crocodile in pursuit. The crocodile bites one of the lions and the battle has begun, but the lion seems to be able to get out of the crocodile's hold. On land, I don't think a crocodile would have much of a chance against a lion because of the lion's speed. But in water, it's another story, although lions are very strong. Watch how these 3 lions give this crocodile a beating on land. The crocodile is much slower. Of course, we're talking about 3 against 1, and it's still not easy. The crocodile is still a force to be reckoned with and no easy kill. Even when these 3 lions try to take on this other crocodile, they get to scratch it a little, but no real harm is done and the crocodile escapes. I would have to say that both these predators are very powerful, and one cannot overpower the other one-on-one. Number 1. Snake versus mongoose. The mongoose is a snake killer. Even though it doesn't win all the time, it wins most of the time. It's not a big animal, but its amazing speed and technique make up more than enough for its lack of size. The first clip shows the mongoose in a battle with the cobra, its usual opponent. You can see how these two warriors study one another before striking. The mongoose circles the cobra, and the cobra stands in a defensive position, ready to strike at any moment. The cobra finally strikes, but the mongoose flies in the air, avoiding the bite. But the cobra strikes again, and this time doesn't miss. This tiny mongoose faces a black mamba, one of the world's deadliest snakes, and the mongoose holds its ground. The mongoose is a courageous little bastard. This next video shows us a mongoose orgy where a bunch of mongooses are tearing to shreds a snake. This snake is not going to make it home for dinner on time. In our last clip, this mongoose handles this cobra like a skilled warrior, and in no time takes the snake home for dinner. Number 10. Leopard versus leopard. Leopards are solitary animals, so when they meet another leopard, it's not surprising there may be an argument. Watching these two leopards fighting confirms this. You can see the bite marks on one of the leopards, and this battle is far from over. They stare each other down like domestic cats would, and then walk away. I guess they didn't want the trouble. Leopards fighting each other makes for an evenly matched fight, so seldom does one leopard perish at the paws of another. They just injure one another, and when they've had enough, they walk away. You can see how wicked the battles are in our next clip. Both these leopards are enraged and are battling to the death. But unless one of them hits a key part of the body, they will both walk away with injuries and bruises to live another day. Number 9. Shark versus octopus. We witness many more animal battles that take place on the ground than underwater, because it's easier to get footage. That doesn't mean nothing is happening in the depths of the ocean. What do you think happens when a giant octopus meets a shark? Watch how this octopus latches onto this shark with its tentacles and doesn't let go. The shark is in trouble, and how will it escape from the grasp of this octopus? I don't think the octopus wins this one. Of course, it all depends on the size of the shark. Don't forget that an octopus can also release ink from its siphons, so it confuses predators and it gives the octopus time to escape. I'm pretty sure a great white shark or a bull shark could take on an octopus, but small sharks would have a hard time. Number 8. Pigs fight. People think pigs lay in the mud all day long, doing nothing else but getting dirty and eating. I mean, that's the perception we have of pigs. Actually, pigs are extremely intelligent animals, and boy can they fight. Watch these two pigs go at it like two sumo wrestlers on steroids. They charge at one another relentlessly, trying to knock each other down. These are not small animals, and they can cause damage. You can tell when two pigs are going to pick a fight. They stand side by side and begin to act weird, and then they charge. These two didn't go at it for too long because one of them chickened out. These two warhogs are going to head, pushing one another. Their tusks are razor sharp, so they can cause lots of damage to the other. This wrestling match is one long tussle that won't end anytime soon. This next clip shows a pig challenge a huge cow, and the cow scampers off in fear. Never knew pigs had such superhero powers. Pigs also use their snouts to fight, as you can see in this sequence, hitting each other with it. They are quite the wrestlers. Number 7. Ibex fight. The ibex is a beautiful goat-like animal with extremely pointy and dangerous horns, and they often fight between themselves. Ibexes fight by going head to head and planting the horns into one another and pushing. Nothing really comes of it, but that's the way they do it. They even fight on the side of mountains and take a plunge down on their opponent. They're quite massive, so that must hurt. The battles are usually between two dominant males trying to strut their stuff in front of the ladies. Ibex duels can last for an hour, so there's lots of endurance involved, and these horns are like swords. They fight for ranking between the males. It's always the guys fighting. You never see girls doing this nonsense. In this clip, this vicious battle takes a turn when a third male strikes from the flank, which is a rare occurrence. Number 6. Wartbiter versus praying mantis. A wartbiter is a bush cricket, and the praying mantis is an insect known for its awesome predatory skills. So what happens when they clash? Check out this wartbiter devouring a grasshopper alive as the mantis looks on. The praying mantis moves in and the battle begins. Two bloodthirsty insects ready to go to the end. The praying mantis is surprised by the opposition the wartbiter is giving it and backs off, thinking the risk is not worth it. Once the mantis is gone, the warp biter continues savoring its meal. I'm sure there will be more battles in the future, and may the best insect win. Number 5. Bullfight. Bulls are powerful animals, and when they're on the loose, anything can happen. Watch these two monstrous ankle Watusi bulls go at it, clashing their horns against each other. Their horns are extremely sharp and big, and if one horn hits a major body part, it could be the end for one of these bulls. These next bulls are doing the same thing, but nothing much develops from it. These two next bulls are going at it quite ferociously, and there's even a bell to the end of the round and play-by-play commentary. Wow, this is the big leagues. This next bullfight starts off as somewhat of a dance, but then gets gritty with both bulls going on their knees trying to overpower the other. Fortunately, they don't have any horns, or this would have been a bloody massacre already. After the dance and the fight, the bulls retreat. Our last fight has two giant bulls going at it, and this is spectacular. They have so much power. I wouldn't want to be in the middle of this bullfight. A couple of dogs try joining the battle, but to no avail. These bulls just won't stop. Wait a minute, I think the fight is over. They're just standing there as if nothing ever happened. Number 4. Hippos fight. Hippos are very territorial, and if one male tries to invade another male's territory, there will be friction and ultimately conflict. But hippos will not back down against any opponent, as you can tell in this footage. They will challenge lions and other predators, and they're difficult to take down. This lion grabs a hippo by the tail, but it doesn't look like the lion will get anywhere using this tactic. Hippos will even charge male lions, just like this hippo is doing when this male lion is trying to get a drink. Look at this hippo convection. I think they're meeting to elect the new Grand Poobah. Oh no, wait. They're tossing around a poor crocodile who happens to be at the wrong place at the right time. It's time to say goodbye, Mr. Crocodile. When hippos battle each other, they open their mouths wide and try to bite their opponent with their huge canines. Their canines clash, and you can hear the noise they make. Finally, watch this hippo wander right into a pride of lions as if they were neighbors getting ready for a barbecue. Only question is, what is being served for dinner? Number 3. Chicken versus chicken. Although they're illegal, chicken fights have been very popular since the beginning of time. Watch these two roosters go at it in the open field. Nothing illegal about this fight. They just met in the forest, so nothing organized here. They start with a stare down, then a few jumps in the air, and the battle begins. What kind of fight is this? It looks more like a frickin' hypnotizing competition. You call yourselves warriors? This next fight even has a referee. One of the chickens takes off and the other one chases it, and the referee has no clue what's going on. This white rooster looks like he wants to be the new homie in the hood, and is challenging these 3 roosters to a fight. He wants to rumble. Feathers are flying all over the place, and this fight is becoming intense. The white rooster finally chickens out, no pun intended, and scampers off. Finally, our last 2 roosters are going at it, pecking each other and chasing each for hours when one of the roosters strikes the final blow and knocks its opponent to the ground. The rooster is out cold, perhaps dead. I don't know, but it doesn't look good. Quick, call 911. Number 2. Kangaroos fight. Kangaroos are known for their boxing skills, and they can also give a decent kick. Watch this boxing match between these 2 kangaroos. It almost looks like they're hugging, but they're actually having an argument. When kangaroos fight, they use their hands and legs, but it almost looks like they're showing affection for each other. But that's how they fight. Check out how built this kangaroo is. This guy must have a yearly membership at Gold's Gym, or he's definitely on the juice. Now this is what I call a heavyweight fight. It's like Arnold versus Lou. Kangaroos don't only fight other kangaroos. Check this kangaroo fighting off these 2 dogs in the water. The kangaroo is standing his ground and giving the dogs shit. It's not a happy camper. It even tries to drown the black dog, but the dog manages to escape. I don't think the dog is going back in the water. These 2 dogs seem to be overpowering this kangaroo, and it doesn't seem like they're letting go. These are wild dogs, so not an easy fight for the kangaroo, who sadly succumbs to its injuries. Number 1. Zebra versus crocodile. Zebras are beautiful and strong, but they must travel long distances and cross sketchy rivers to survive. Many times, crocodiles cross their paths, and their meetings don't always have a happy ending. Watch as these zebras try crossing this river where the current is strong and infested with crocodiles. The crocodiles manage to get one zebra and hang on to it, but the zebra manages to escape. Unfortunately, the baby zebra was taken away by the currents, but finds itself elsewhere in the river and gets away. It even steps on a couple of crocodiles. This next scene is not for the faint of heart. Watch as this crocodile holds on to the zebra, who manages to get out of the hold. But the crocodile had already punctured the zebra's stomach, and as the zebra gets out of the water, its entire stomach and intestines fall to the ground. I don't even know how this zebra is still standing. Zebras risk their lives even when they just need to have a drink of water. Life is tough for these beautiful creatures. I must admit, I'm still shocked at the zebra which lost part of its stomach before dying. I've never seen anything like it. What sequence did you like the most? Why don't you tell us in the comments below? Well, that's it for 15 animal battles that will give you goosebumps. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a like and let us know in the comments what you think. Check out our other videos and subscribe to be part of the fun. Click on the notification icon so you can see our new videos as soon as they're uploaded. That's it for now.